Hey guys, Sableye here, and welcome back to more Players Cup 3 action. So today we're here with losers round 8 of the tournament, and at this point, I don't know, I'm 6-1 I think or something like that. I don't know, long story short, if I win this I advance to the following week, make it in the top 16. If I lose this, of course, my opponent goes into top 16. Anyways, we're here versus Raghav, very good player. If you do not know them, you should know them, they're a good player. Anyways, team may look familiar to you guys. You may have seen this in Winners Round 4 or something at least, very similar in Winners Round 4. And for those of you who may have missed out on that analysis, Winners Round 4 was actually the round I lost. So it would be a shame to lose to the same Charizard Sun team twice. But I don't know, I locked in pretty quickly here. I figured I could go back to my game 1 game plan. I figured the two players may still play matchups differently. Like, it's not the exact same person playing it, right? So you have to look at it along the lines of the fact that, okay, hey, the same team, different people might do different things. And here we go, we got Dragapult Zacian, and this was a mistake on my end. They led very, very well into this with the Incineroar Grimmsnarl here. Dragapult is a Dragapult. However, this isn't a terrible spot to be in because they really don't have pressure, right? Like, the only pressure they have is maybe like a Scary Face into a Flare Blitz, but I don't actually even know how fast the Instant is. Well, long story short, I do know how fast the Instant is now. I'm not going to share that information. It's not my information to share, but I do know how fast it is after the, I did realize that after the set. But anyways, I believe I just decided to Wormwind, which was possibly the dumbest thing I've ever decided to do. I don't know. My concept here was, it was double elimination, and what am I doing? Hold on. Okay, but my concept was why I went back to this lead, because you guys saw how I adapted to Lapras in round 4, but my thought process going back to this lead was that one, different players may do different things, and two, that it's double elimination, and there was, I don't know, I'm sure Raghav had at least 2 hours, if not 2.5, if not 3 hours of a wait. So I'd assume he'd want to make some safe plays, get his feet wet a little bit before starting to make some riskier plays. So I figured maybe if I could catch him, maybe being a little bit more passive than anything else, I could catch him like switching in and out. Smart play by Raghav there, just going for the straightforward play, and Phantasm goes straight into Instant. Obviously not great, but I do get that defense drop, which is probably the main reason I decided to go for it. But honestly, guys, memories of this game are very, very shaky. But we'll learn together and make fun of my plays together. So, what am I airstreaming for? What am I airstreaming for? I am faster than everything on their team. Why am I airstreaming? That's why I'm airstreaming. Alright, Scary Face is coming out. Goes into the Zacian. I guess I realized why I'm airstreaming, but it makes sense. I actually got it right, which is even funnier than what I'd expect. But Instant gets chipped down quite a bit there. And I wonder if here, this is where I may have messed up. Yeah, I think this might be the spot I messed up. I think Grimmsnarl is not enough of a threat to worry about. I have to worry about it, don't get me wrong, but I think if I may take Instant there, it gets me a little bit better positioning, right? Because now Instant can pivot in and out, get a party shot off here, so now I'm even lower in attack. You get Instant back in later, more fake out pressure, another Intimidate, right? Had I just taken that Instant, what's Grim gonna do? Right? Like, what is Grim gonna do if I just drop the Instant? Grim's not a threat. Yes, it's gonna slow me down, but I can always switch that out and cue the Charizard. Good news is I have one more turn of max to hit into this Charizard. So, and I believe Instant is what came back in, or it may have just been the straight up Groudon and then switch into, yeah. So Groudon does come straight back in here, which is perfectly fine. Like I said, it should be a Grimmsnarl beside a Charizard right now. It shouldn't be, there shouldn't be that whole, shouldn't be the Instant into back with Intimidate pressure. I should be able to switch out Zacian now, reset that, drop the Grim, or get chip damage into Grim. And the rest of my team might be able to actually pivot here, but the problem is now I got nothing. So slight misplay on my end, of course, not giving up, and I actually didn't even realize that misplay until right now I'm watching the game back, because obviously I thought it was the right play in the moment, but looking back, definitely was not. Anyways, Charizard Groudon. And I have no clue what I want to do here. I don't even remember what I ended up. I think I brought in P2. No, I brought an instant. Okay. Now, this wasn't the greatest play because I brought an instant, obviously trying to expect maybe a wildfire, but like at the end of the day, I feel like they want to like either they want to airstream to match the fact that my Dragapult may want to airstream here. They also may want to just click Max Quake because that is an option to them, and what am I going to switch into a wildfire? An Incineroar. So therefore Quake seems to be a good play as well. They also just have Precipice Blades pressure, so yeah, I'm getting an Intimidate on the Groudon, but I don't know if this was really the best switching, you know. Where did this Charizard go? Because I actually don't remember. If the Zard went into Zacian, then switching out was still probably the better play. But anyways, we're going to get a nice little Phantasm off here. Basically, just still trying to counteract this, counteract the Reflect. Right? And what are we going to see here? I believe they actually did just go for the Airstream, which was correct. But I don't remember what they went for. Yep. So they correctly go for the Airstream. Of course, Incineroar does not appreciate that. I mean, I could have left Zacian in to protect if I was expecting an Airstream. And then, you know, burn an extra turn of Max, and then swap the next turn. And still have, maybe, obviously I wouldn't have Instant alive, but P-Blades does miss the Dragapult there. And Instant, of course, is going to drop, so dodging with the wrong slot. But that's Groudon, you live and die by the blades. Anyways, Charizard there, gonna take a little bit of solar power health, and we're gonna bring in Porygon here. So, they were going for Airstreams. My game plan here is get Trick Room up. So basically, my Dragapult's faster this turn. If I Phantom Force, I can get Room up and then have Zacian, because they're getting Airstreams, right? If I can get Room up, I can get my everything slow. Even my Zacian may be slower than this Groudon. Obviously, probably not, but it will definitely be slower than the Charizard, which is a key piece right here. So I'm gonna go for a Phantom Force, just kind of hide for a turn. No real need. I was debating. But no real need to risk myself getting hit here or getting taken out. I do go for the Phantom Force into the Charizard, just trying to put it in range of a potential Behemoth Blade. Because of the Reflect, I'd say if there was no Reflect, it probably is in range. But with the Reflect up and the Instant in the back, I have to make sure I chip it down a little bit more. Basically, Groudon can always miss. P2 can always chip it down. And anyways, G-Max Wildfire correctly comes out into Porygon 2. Porygon 2 gets absolutely toasted. Now, critical hit. Okay, so it's not that I think the crit mattered, but it definitely may have swayed it, because one, it would have forced them to A, hit the Precipice Blades, B, they're not Life Orb Charizard, so I know my Porygon takes it. But I don't know how well my Porygon takes it. I know it takes it, I just don't know how well it takes it. So I'm assuming P-Blades probably would have finished me off anyways, but I would have at least liked to have been in a spot where, you know, they actually have to hit the P-Blades. Because 85% accuracy, it may sound good, guys, but in Pokemon it's not. So it's a little unfortunate there. Of course, it was a long shot. Like, it was a long shot if I was ever going to win this anyways. But I think if I can get the room up, I actually might have a shot. Because as you see, that Dragapult Phantom Force does that much. If I was in room right now, right, I could have hit the Zard, and I would have been in a little bit of a better position here. Zacian, of course, living that through the Protect. And Groudon's going to go for the P-Blades. Zacian probably would have lived the P-Blades had I been in Trick Room, so I would have been able to take a P-Blade, drop the Charizard, maybe had a chance. And Dragapult also living that, but I think Pult dies to the Flames here. Yeah. Pult dies to the Flames, so unfortunately we never got Trick Room up, and that will seal our fate here. But once again, they're bringing the same form ons as the last time, so I figured, you know what, I can make the same adjustment I made last time, you know, get my Lapras in and see if I can win. And then from there, maybe make the correct adaptation in Game 3, because I actually went back and looked at my winners round 4 again after I analyzed it with you guys, and I realized that I called what they were going to do Game 4, Game 4, there's no such thing as a Game 4, I called what they were going to do in Game 3, didn't actually execute on what I should have done correctly accordingly in Game 3, so it's still on me. Zacian going to go down, Scorching Sands, Heat Wave, they could have clipped anything. Zacian would have died there, so big thing here was never getting that Trick Room up, I think, on that last turn. Like I said, I do not know if the Wildfire plus the Precipice Blades would have taken me out. It would have still been spread, despite Dragapult being off the field. It would have still been spread because Dragapult was in the Void, so it would actually have missed Dragapult. And I don't know how much they were going to do. That's the simple answer. I don't know how much they do without a crit there. If they don't crit my Porygon 2, hey, and I can take a P-Blades, or maybe I can dodge a P-Blades. Like, if I get, basically, long story short, if I get Trick Room up, I think I have a good outcome there. But either way, I mean, they can still pivot an instant and pivot around. Like, getting Trick Room up wasn't the end-all be-all. So, yes, they got lucky, but it was not a well-played game on my end. So, regardless of that, we were going to get, see what I can do in game 2 here. I think I went back to Lapras, right? I figured to myself, okay, well, Dragon Bolt once again did not work in game 1. Let's go back to Lapras and see if I can do anything about see if I can do anything, maybe get myself to game 3 here. And then, you know, once we get to game 3, it's Pokemon, so anything can happen. Especially if you can take a game, you start putting a little bit of doubt in your opponent's mind, right? And especially, like, in the last set. Like, winner of this moves on to top 16, and the loser's sitting here now going, But, yeah. It's, right? Like, now you're nervous. Like, I wasn't nervous going into this set. Like, I try to control my nerves pretty well. But, once you go down a game, you're like, okay, now I really, you know, you get a little bit more scared here. And I don't think, this didn't work for me in game 3. I don't know what, in game 3, round 4. I don't know why I expected it to work for me in game 2, losers round 8. But, we're gonna go for it. So, yeah, like, once again, though, like, Raghav just played to his outs. Played the right cards and took me down. So, of course, do I think I messed up? I do. And seeing this, which is actually perfect for me, I go instant Lapras. So I did mix it up slightly from winner's game, winner's round 4, game 3. But either way, I like this because this is kind of the way the composition worked when I took the game versus Sal in winner's round 4. So I'm liking what I see here immediately, and maybe maxing immediately was a mistake. But I do Geyser the Grimmsnarl because what's switching in? If they want to switch in Groudon, it gets Geysered and we get rid of the Sun. Resonance is probably the better play, just because it probably does more outside of Sun. But my main thing here was just getting them outside of Sun, right? If I get them out of Sun and Lapras in Rain, Lapras is going to be doing a big chunk of damage here. So I wonder if I can't help but wonder if Resonance would have done more. Obviously, it would have done more. But I wonder if it would have been the right play or not. Because they're Citrus Berry, right? So I'm assuming the extra little chunk that Resonance would have done probably would have been counteracted by that Citrus Berry. But then it would have procced a Citrus Berry. So, I don't know. Maybe there was no reason for me to get out of Sun here. Maybe getting out of Sun was just not a smart play. Either way, we're going to get the... get Lapras up here. But, okay. I'm trying to think of, I don't even remember what I did with Incineroar. Like, I wasn't even watching. Like, I'm not even watching, like, I'm watching the set, but, like, I don't know. I'm focused on talking. Anyways, Instant, just gonna fake out. Yeah, that's a mistake. Like, I get that, but if I'm calling the switch, right, why go for the fake out? If I'm expecting a switch, why do a half read like that? And I was actually shocked Instant died there. But, hey, look, it's a crit. I don't think Instant dies to that. Yes, I know it's solar power, guys, but without the Life Orb, it doesn't actually hit as hard as it normally does. So I'd expect Instant to actually take that, and it's off a Scorching Sands. So losing my Instant right there that's a key piece, right? Because now that's one thing they do not have to target into this turn. And it's a little concerning, and gotta say I'm not too happy about it. Gotta say I'm not too... That's a mistake. That is a huge mistake right there. This right here, I just saw this right now, and I'm like, that's a mistake. I think I need to bring in Zacian. I don't know why I clicked Porygon 2 so fast. That Groudon is low health. This Groudon will die to a Behemoth Blade. It would have forced in the Incineroar. I would have baited it. I would have hard swapped Porygon 2 into the Zacian. Bait the Groudon to switch out into Instant, get a free Geyser into that slot. Anyways, Groudon actually does switch out into Grimmsnarl here. But of course, if it was my Zacian on the field, it would have switched into Instant, would have Geysered the Instant slot. May not have taken it out, but definitely would have put it in range of future Zacian turn. And as you can see, Porygon 2 is eating things for breakfast right now. So it would have been a very, very foolproof switch in. And yeah, I mean, it's as simple as, it sucks that I didn't call that, and I don't know why I didn't make that play. It's just, maybe it was the end of the day for me, but that's not an excuse. I gotta be able to make that play. Anyways, Grimmsnarl is going to take next to nothing from that thanks to the Max Quake. And now they're going to be able to get screens up. I'm going to desperately try and get Trick Room up, as you see right here. and the blue digital duck is going to attempt everything. So I'm going to attempt to fix the world. So we're gonna go for. I'm assuming. I think I just start ice beaming here and just start attempting to chip damage into this Grim, because I want everything in Zacian range. That's kind of my goal right now, which you know sounds like a good goal, but when I don't execute, I had to grab on in what was very very close to Zacian range, like close enough to a spot where they were probably gonna switch out if I brought Zacian in, and I could have capitalized on it. By bringing in P2, there was nothing for me to capitalize on. I wasn't gaining positioning. I was thinking about, you know, not losing Zacian for my endgame, but I needed to bring in Zacian there and then bait it. Basically, still not lose Zacian for my endgame, but force his hand a little bit differently. Right? You saw that they switched into Grim. Had I brought in Zacian, they would have swapped it instant, and I would have been able to geyser that. It would have been a pretty easy read. I mean, I'm making the read now. I mean, maybe they wouldn't have, but I think it was pretty simple that they probably would have swapped. Would have at least given me a better chance. But anyways, we're going to get some Wildfire Flames here. Porygon 2 gets chipped by the Flames as well. And, end of the max. Alright, Lapras, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for maxing. I appreciate that. Really did a lot of damage. It really, really did. Okay. But regardless, now we're not doing anything. Grimmsnarl actually does go pretty low, which is interesting. And I believe I just Eerie Impulse to Zard, so it's doing nothing. And we're going to get a nice little Hydro Pump into the Grim. Basically, if they switch out, which I don't expect them to, we get big damage off here. But it's fine, so we're gonna get a nice little Spirit Break coming out. Sorry, I thought Lapras was slower for some reason. Anyways, Lapras gonna get chipped by the Spirit Break, of course. Special attack's gonna go down, it's guaranteed, and Hydro Pump is gonna come out. It's gonna actually connect. Hydro Pump actually connects, it's a miracle. But I hate this move so much. It actually does a good chunk of damage, and Charizard's gonna go Ancient Power. So the moment these guys get the boost with this Ancient Power, I'm in trouble. Thankfully, no boost from the Ancient Power. And not the end of the world. Now, I need to be careful here because I can't just let Lapras die, right? Lapras is a key piece to this endgame. We've got the Groudon that needs to be able to beat. We've got the Instant that still needs to be able to beat as well. I don't know if I really need to try and save it here. Did I actually end up saving it? I know at one point, don't do that, Ryan. Ryan, don't do that. It's +3 Assault Vested. Don't do that. I'm yelling at myself now, but I'm gonna hide. No, Ryan, stop. No, why? What am I doing? Anyways, Grim's gonna get a Reflect Up, which is very smart, just trying to get something up before it dies here. I'm obviously not gonna kill it here, which is a mistake on my end. But the problem here is I had a free switch into Zacian, and I didn't take it. Right? They're not gonna Heat Wave in the rain. I go Hydro Pump, I do connect, but this is gonna do nothing, guys. Take a look at this damage. Take a look at this damage. That's in rain. A Hydro Pump into a Charizard, guys. Charizard does not have bulk, so only doing 25% with that is very, very bad. But Rain's gonna stop now. Like I said, I had the free switch into Zacian, didn't take it. Here's the Wildfire Flames, gonna chip us quite a bit more, and now Lapras is down to 27 health. So if I had any sort of health, may have had any sort of chance to take anything from Incineroar, I do not anymore. So I don't think I would have taken a Flare Blitz from where I was at anyways, but. And, I mean, I just don't think I played this endgame very well at all. Anyways, Zacian's gonna come. Now I make the switch. I'm a turn behind. I am a turn behind, but this is why you analyze games, guys. And, anyways, we're gonna get Zacian in. And, what are we gonna see from Charizard? I believe Charizard clicks Heat Wave here since they were out of the rain, and it probably would have picked up Lapras anyways. But Porygon 2, gonna go for the Eerie Impulse again, just basically making sure this Charizard does not hurt me on switching. And I mean, I'm not in a bad spot, right? Yes, they still have the Instant in the back. I still have my Zacian, but Zacian's at full health. Zacian actually packs a punch because Charizard's doing nothing. There's a Heat Wave coming out. And look how much this is doing. This does nothing to Zacian. Absolutely. And then they burn me. So, you know what? I'm not saying I win without the burn. I'm not saying I win without the crit in game 1. But I'm just saying that in a tough matchup like this, when this happens, when stuff like this happens, it just becomes too much. Right? Like, everything's possibly in range of my Zacian here. Right? Charizard's pretty low, probably not in range, but it's doing nothing to me. Right? If they want to do anything, they have to switch out to reset their special attack stat. So, like, they're not doing anything. Porygon 2 can stall the rest of their team out while Zacian picks up damage. Zacian picks up knockouts. Of course, Zacian cannot pick up knockouts while I'm burned. So I try to chip Charizard here, maybe put it in range of another Behemoth Blade. There's the scary face coming out. They can slow me down all they want. So basically, they get to slow me down. I'm going to click recover, and then the following turn I'm going to try and trick them up here. And they slowed me down. Zacian is taking nothing from that, but the residual damage from the burn is really the and the Wildfire Flames from earlier, of course. But the burn in general here is what's slowing me down here. Like, that does at least double that. That does double that damage if I'm not burned, right? So it's probably in range of another one. And if it's not in range of another one, it's probably in range of an Ice Beam plus another one. Right? So I could protect, I could Trick Room. Right? And then from there, I'd actually be alright. So as you can see, the Wildfire Flames are gone. I would have still been above half health. Here's your Trick Room. Obviously now protecting doesn't help me. Right? So I have to just launch an attack. Did I hit Charizard again? The problem here is I didn't pick a target. This is my problem. I need to pick targets while I had things on the field. But Groudon actually switching in here. And look how much damage this is going to do. And like I was saying, back to the earlier part of the game. Whereas if I would have brought Zacian in, I think Zacian would have killed this Groudon. Anyways, Charizard's going to go Heat Wave in the sun, Solar Power boosted. Zacian, of course, going to take it because this Charizard is minus 1,000,000. And Behemoth Blade's coming out. And remember, guys, there's a Reflect up here. So it would have done a little more the first time as well, had I brought Zacian in right away. And I'm burned. So because of the Reflect and the burn, that doesn't kill. If I would have brought Zacian in on the Groudon earlier, it definitely would have, and he would have been forced to switch into the last mod. I still don't know if it's Incineroar, by the way. I still do not know their last mod. So now things are interesting here, right? Of course, the burn's going to hurt me. Charizard's getting chipped by the Solar Power, and I can potentially win this. I still have Lapras. I don't agree with this switch out. I don't agree with that at all. But anyways, I don't know why I'm switching out and protecting here. See, if I'm not burned, I'm okay with that turn. You know, if I don't get burned here, I'm actually not mad about this turn. But, like, I don't know. I think I had everything chipped low enough to a spot where Zacian, after they scary faced me, could have actually done something here. But the problem is I can't pick up the knockouts that Zacian is able to pick up. But they go protect, I go protect. And Scorching Sand from the Charizard. The Scorching Sand's 100% accurate, guys. Because if it's 100% accurate, that's a perfectly fine play. If it's not, you might as well have just gone for Heat Wave. Anyways, that's going to chip me down here. And my team's Aurora Veil is going to go down. So, problem is I only have 16 health left. I have a free Freeze Dry into the Groudon, but the problem is if I'm still confident that the last mod is instant here. And Behemoth Blade, I'm going to attempt to kill the Zard here. And Love's going to switch out Groudon. And cue the instant. And there we go. We finally see the Incineroar. But once again, like, this Charizard probably would have been dead to the Solar Power by now, because I would have got double the damage up with the Behemoth Blade earlier. Groudon probably would have been at like 2 HP. I mean, yes, I misplayed. But, like, the thing is, did I misplay? Yes. But did I do enough to win? Maybe. If I don't get burned. I'm not saying it's just a straight up win. And obviously, they played the end game differently as well, right? Because they burned me, they were able to play this end game very passively. And I'm basing the fact off that they played passively, that, you know, I could have capitalized on it. I don't know if I could have. I mean, maybe they would, right? They probably bring an instant sooner, right? To minimize my Zacian. They probably... Right, there's just so many things they can do to minimize Zacian late game without the burn that I probably don't have it. I don't know. I feel like I have it just because I can call some switch-ins, and I forced them to switch around a lot more than they had to switch around here, and they were already being passive about it, right? Because they know I couldn't kill them. Of course, it doesn't matter though. We did get burned, and I didn't find a way to win through it. So could have made plays earlier on. So it's my own fault. My own fault. At the end of the day, I'm not too mad about this. Incineroar gonna click Fake Out here. Now, the thing is, had Charizard died to the Solar Power, this Heat Wave doesn't get off. Of course, yeah, sure, great. The Heat Wave doesn't do too much, right? But at this point, the game's basically over. Now, if you're this Incineroar, what I would do to end this game up is I would Parting Shot off my Porygon 2, get Groudon. I would get Grimmsnarl in. I would Parting Shot off Porygon 2 and let Grimmsnarl go down, or hard switch Grimmsnarl into Groudon. Basically, I want Groudon on the field beside Incineroar so I can click Fake Out Swords Dance. If I was my opponent, anyways, I'd be trying for that. But then again, they can probably just click Flare Blitz a few times in the sun. So I'm forced to be recovering here. They can start Spirit Breaking, dropping my special attack. At this point, it's all but said and done. I'm of course not going to forfeit until it's officially done because, you know, my Players' Cup life is on the line. If I can get maybe 6 crits, like my win con right now that I saw is because they didn't switch out, right? If I can get an Ice Beam, they're going to Flare Blitz here, of course. That's fine. And my thought process was that, first of all, that was doing way too much to actually execute my thought process. But Groudon's been tipped down. If I can Ice Beam kill this Grimmsnarl and then crit kill the Groudon, I can potentially do something here. Right? If I can kill the Groudon and I can 1v1 endgame with Porygon Incineroar, there's still technically a chance. Like, I don't know. I really do believe that if I'm not burned, I think I have a lot better of a chance of winning this. Obviously, the burn sealed the game for them. But I don't know. If I'm not burned, I think I can very well win this game if I make the right reads and stuff. But, of course, still heavily in their favor. But I don't know. Something about it. And that doesn't even kill Grim. So if that would have killed, we would have needed a crit on Grim and then a crit on the Groudon on the switch. And then, I mean, that wouldn't have made me in a great spot. Obviously, I could have won this game. Maybe not won the game, but could have played better. And I'm going to say this for the next, like, 5 minutes, guys. But I could have played better earlier on. Didn't play better earlier on. And my opponent got rewarded with a burn. I got, you know, the nail in the coffin with the burn. But, oh well. But with that, guys, good games to Raghav, and that's going to be the end of my Players Cup 3 run. So we officially finished, I believe it works out to top 24 or whatever it is. It's something along those lines. I'm pretty sure it's top 24. But either way, I'm very happy with my top 24 run. Incredibly happy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these analyses. I'd like to do it again. I know Players Cup 4 got announced, so kind of an odd timing for it. I don't know about that, but I'm not going to talk too much about the timing of Players Cup 4 at the end of this video. So, unfortunate run does come to an end, losing to the same Groudon Charizard team twice, or very similar Groudon Charizard teams twice, I should say. But yeah, it's a little bittersweet. Like, I'm very, very happy with how I played throughout the tournament. I think maybe I deserve the game 3 here. Obviously, the crit on Porygon in game 1. And the burn on Zacian in game 2. But I mean, like I said, I could have played better, so did I really deserve a game 3? Probably not. But I think I had a chance to maybe take it, but it is what it is. So, sucks to end that way, but of course, good games to Raghav. And with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Probably going to take a day off before I get back into my normal series and stuff on YouTube. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But with that, guys, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to get on out of here, and I will catch you guys in the next video.